Hello everyone, my name is Melbert Steva Obeja, and let me discuss to you this topic, origin of Visayan songs. So this topic is connected to the folk songs under the literature of Visayas. So let's find out what is this. Like the traditional music of other countries, folk music reflects the life of common folks, mainly living in rural areas rather than urban ones, like its counterparts in Asia. A lot of traditional songs from the Philippines have a strong connection with nature. Next is Spanish colonial rule exposed Visayans to Western music traditions. So, in the 17th century, Visayans could already play Spanish musical instruments with notable skills. So, in this century, uh, we can say that the people or the Visayans could already play Spanish musical instruments with notable skills. So with their notable skills, they can play various types of um, musical instruments. So next is the Spanish guitar called sista in Cebuano superseded indigenous string instruments akin to it and became so popular that the Visayas, particularly Cebu, has acquired a reputation not only for guitar players but for the manufacturer of fine guitars. Next is American rule in early 20th century. So new musical influences through public schools, stage, phonographs, movies, and radio. So in this century, um, in this century, other instruments like the alpa or harp also became widely diffused in the Visayas. The Spaniards also introduced the Christmas carol called Dayigon and a more Latin touch to the serenade or harana. Catholic liturgical music and associated religious songs also became an important part of the music tradition of the Visayas. Little is now known of Cebuano composers of early liturgical music, and no adequate study has been undertaken on the adaptation of this music to the Visayas or of its influence on secular music in the region. While there was a tendency towards rigidification in liturgical practices in the Spanish period, artistic cross-fertilization undoubtedly took place. So, after all, the early missionary accounts themselves frequently cite how the Spanish missionaries appropriated native songs and reformed their content to facilitate the communication of new ages. So, uh, next is flowering of Cebuano music composition. So, at the very least, Catholic liturgy, with the important role uh, played in it by songs and chants, nourished the native passion for music. So American rule also uh, introduced new musical influence into the Visayas, particularly through the public schools, uh, also stage, phonograph, movies, and radio. So the first half of the 20th century saw a flowering of Cebuano music composition. A major factor was the rise of Cebuano theater in the early 1900s, with the zarzuela or music play as the most popular dramatic form. So next slide. The development of Visayan music. So first, we have the rise of Cebuano theater or zarzuela and musical plays. So Hence, there was a demand for music and song performances. Uh, Teatro Punquera, later Oriente, in Cebu City showed Cebuano zarzuela and Spanish zarzuelas. Italian opera and American style vaudeville in the early 1900s. So plays by Buenaventura Rodriguez and Florentino Borromeo were staged with a complement of as large as a 32-member orchestra. So, um, demand for music and song performances, and next is Teatro Juquera and Oriente performances, just like I said earlier. Then open air plays and neighborhood performances, or the Balitaw. So off theater, there were open air plays staged in Visayan villages, as well as neighborhood performances of the Cebuano, or what we call the Balitaw. Then, one must also consider that beginning with the Spanish period, the social calendar was filled with religious festivities that created occasions for musical performances. Next. So, social and cultural context. First one is religious festivities and musical performances. So, hence it was a standard for a town and even many barrios to have a local orchestra or band. In later years, Cebuano movies and radio programs also intimidated or stimulated the creativity of composers and performers. There are some Visayan singers that have established their names locally and others globally. Also, after that, there are some Visayan singers that established their names in the name of locally and also globally. So, these singers contributed to the literature a lot. So these are the notable Visayan singers. First one is Stax Hogweta. Next one is Pilita Corrales, as she is a well-known singer. So next one is Susan Fuentes, and also we have June Polestico, Amapula, and also Dulce. So in conclusion, Visayan songs reflect the region's rich cultural heritage and also evolution influenced by colonial rule, American culture, and also local traditions. So learning about Visayan folk songs has been a journey of cultural discovery. It highlighted the importance of preserving our diverse musical heritage, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. This knowledge fosters appreciation for different cultures, promotes understanding and empathy within our communities, and reminds us of the power of music to connect us across time and space. And that would be all. Thank you for listening, and God bless us all.